Today we're going to be washing a car like a pro. I'm going to give you some tips that you might have known, but some tips that you might not have. Welcome to the Never Ending Weekend. In general, I'm pretty much a let the rain do its thing kind of a guy when it comes to washing your car. But the Bronco is so dirty and it's way overdue, so I thought I might take this opportunity to go through a full wash with you and do it in a thorough and methodical way to help you wash your car like a pro. First, let's look at all the things that you need to get the job done. So before I go through all the different tools and products that you need, one thing to keep in mind is making sure that you're wearing the right type of things for the job. So the first thing I want to point out is flip-flops. Very important because your shoes are all going to get wet. You might want to wear a bathing suit. And yeah, maybe eye protection and gloves. You're using chemicals and stuff, but remember the flip-flops. I generally like to keep things pretty simple, and this may seem a little overwhelming, but you don't need all this stuff. But to get a full professional detail of your car, this is kind of the stuff you need. But first, I just want to address the elephant in the room and say Ryobi is a great, affordable, reliable tool brand. Let's just appreciate it for what it is. But that's enough about that. Let me walk you through the process. It's simply a pre-wash, a wash, a dry, and then a protectant. So for the first part, the pre-wash, this is the 3000 PSI electric Ryobi washer, and I got this just because I didn't want to deal with gas. It's much easier to just plug it in and use it. It has enough pressure for sure to do 90% of the things you probably want to do at home. The great thing about this Ryobi pressure washer is it includes a bunch of different nozzles for your different applications, as well as a high-powered nozzle. It's all quick connect. It's built pretty sturdy, good handle, well built, easily stored. The GPM or the flow rate is a little low for washing your car, but the flow rate increases a little bit depending on the nozzle you're using, so this should be good. I'm not going to use this included soap dispenser because I'm going to be using this, a foam cannon. So let's go through the tools and the chemicals a little bit more carefully. This is the Griot's Garage foam cannon. There are more affordable, good products out there. I'll leave a few links in the description below just to get you started. And then of course you need something to go in there, and that's some kind of foam soap or snow soap. Here I'm using Adams Polishes stuff. The Mega Foam is just a really good way to kind of lift off the dirt that's on the car before you start doing your wash. And that's the main thing you're trying to avoid, is leaving any of that dirt there, so that when you're washing or drying your car, you're leaving swirl marks in your paint if there's any grit there. So you're trying to remove as much of that as possible as you wash your car. And I'm showing you the products in order as I'm going to use them. After you do the foam wash, you rinse that off, you clean the tires. Wheel and tire cleaner is important because you want to strip off any of the dirt, because once you put a protectant on there and you start driving around, if it doesn't have good adhesion, if you haven't cleaned the tires well, it'll fling off and then create a mess with your paintwork afterwards. So it's important to clean your tire first before you put on the protectant. And then we got assortment of brushes, a hard bristle brush, a soft bristle brush. This is mainly for your tires, something to get in between your brakes and your wheel if you have big discs in there. Then you shampoo the car. The car shampoo specifically to use instead of something like dish detergent, it's just that it's pH balanced. Dishwasher soap tends to be really high alkalinity, and it's kind of a degreaser, so it'll strip all the other stuff that you've put on your car already, so it's better to use a car shampoo. Today I'm going to do a 2-bucket wash. One bucket is for getting the soap on the mitt, and I'm using these microfiber mitts to wash the car, and it's important to keep them separate from like the microfiber cloths you're using to wash your wheels. So one bucket is to add the soap, the other bucket is to rinse the mitt, keeping the grit away from your car. And I use a third bucket to actually wash the wheels too, because that'll have like the really dirty stuff on there. And then you protect the tires, rinse everything off. Using chamois or microfiber towels to dry your car may not be the ideal way. The best solution is to use a specific towel for drying, which is a twisted loop microfiber towel. This one here is from the Rag Company. They're really absorbent and they're very gentle on your paint. One step up, and I wouldn't go out of your way to buy one of these just for this, but if you have a leaf blower, that's even better because you're not even touching the car, you're just blowing the water on. And you don't want the water to stay on your car because it'll leave spots and streaks and stuff. Again, so you're not messing with any grit on the surface of your car. Blowing it and not touching your car at all is obviously the safest way. And then some window cleaner. Using a car-specific window cleaner is important because they don't have ammonia, and ammonia could be detrimental to your glass, specifically if you have tint on it. It's just a safer, gentler product, and it works well. And then at the end, you have some kind of protectant. If you're not going to go out of your way to wax your car, this might be a good solution for you. These hybrid solutions from Turtle Wax have been getting really good reviews lately. And this is just a quick 3-in-1 detailer. You just spray it on and wipe it off. And it'll give you a layer of protection for at least a few months. So that's everything. May seem a little over the top, but this gives you the whole professional wash solution from beginning to end. So let's start now with the rinse. So it's important not to wash your car in direct sunlight. The sheet metal should be relatively cool to the touch. At the very least, wash your car on an overcast day, but better to be in shadow, even better to be inside in a garage or something environmentally controlled. And that's because most of the chemicals going to be used work best in a cool environment. To tell you the truth, I left the dirt on for way too long, and it's kind of crusted on now. And I don't know how I'm going to remove it all before I get to the wash phase. Remember to use a specific nozzle that will lower the pressure of your pressure washer, because you don't want to damage the car, and a pressure washer with enough pressure can damage a car, which is kind of why the reason not to use a commercial car wash. Even the touchless ones, they tend to use very high pressure washers, probably too high than ideal. And of course, the ones that actually rub against your car, just swirling all that dirt around and creating all those fine little swirl marks. Might be quicker to just shovel that stuff off. Yeah, there's a lot of mud. Yeah, swirl marks is the last thing I should worry about, I think. Found some trail damage. Gotta find some more clips to put in there. I don't know how well to clean all the suspension parts too. So this is 4/5 water and about 2 ounces of the foam soap. It's always important to read the instructions because every soap ratio is a little bit different. So let's give this a try. One thing to remember is to wash your car top to bottom. So start from the top and then move your way down. This is rinsing as well as washing, running the dirt down your car. So this is something that I learned recently, and it never really occurred to me, but whenever I washed a car, I would vigorously make small circular motions. Any swirl marks you make that are circular, you'll notice more. So use long, straight strokes and typically follow the direction of the way the wind would move over your car. So from front to back as opposed to up and down, so that if you do make any marks on your car, they'll be less noticeable. Like I mentioned in the beginning, start with the wheels and tires, just because you don't want all that stuff from the wheels to get onto the rest of your car. So I bought this cheap kit on Amazon. Hard bristles, soft bristles that are safe for your wheel, hard bristles for your tire, and some brushes to get in there, little nooks and crannies. I don't even know what the point of cleaning these tires are. Next time I go off-road, they're gonna be filthy again. Look at all the mud on here. You don't really realize it. My tires don't really have a deep dish like some sports cars, so I don't know if I need all the brushes, but you might. The Bronco logo. These blue things in there are grit guards, so that the grit that comes off your wash mitt will fall to the bottom of the bucket so they don't get contaminated again on the mitt. Now we wash. If you watch any of my install videos, you know I like to do things well into the night, planned or not. Trusty ladder. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with the dirt. I guess I gotta rub it into the paint. It's getting dark. Video must be getting grainy. Here goes the bottom parts. And everything I said about not getting grit on your paint, forget about that. For now, anyway, because it doesn't apply here. I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing. I'm going to be able to see all the trail damage now on my paintwork. Before it was hidden by all the mud. Oh, forgot to go the direction of the wind. Oh boy, like a pro. Wash your car like a pro. Direction of the wind. Okay, now the rock sliders and the bumper. That's another thing too. I know you've heard it before, but don't leave the bird droppings and bugs. They will stain your car if you leave them on too long. So I guess the tip there is don't do what I do. Do people wash their winches? I don't know, but I am. And there's a lot of mud here. Guess I don't have to really worry about scratching the bumper too much or adding swirl marks. There. Okay, it's rinse time. And if it seems like I'm in a hurry, I am. Trying to get this done before it's nighttime and I'm bugging my neighbors. So it looks like I ran out of time. It's really late. I'm gonna dry off the car. Unfortunately, not enough light to do some nice slow-mo of the water coming off the car, but I'm gonna finish drying it. And in the morning, as long as we have some shade, I'm gonna finish it off with some polish and the finishing touches. Wow, that's loud. What time is it? Remember to clean out all your tools. Rinse everything out. Run a full bottle of soap or until all the soap is gone. Might as well as use this to clean the brushes too. Tire brushes are pretty dirty. You look at all that. This is after rinsing it a couple of times. There's still a lot of dirt, grit in there. Make sure you wash all your microfiber really well so the last looks really shiny in the dark. Okay, I think that's it for today. I'll see you in the morning, everyone.
A few moments later.
Some more rain. Supposedly it's going to be like this for a couple of days at least. Okay guys, it finally stopped raining and I just want to show you some stuff that I didn't notice because it was so dark when we finished. This is just a word of warning, I guess. When you leave dirt and stuff on your especially plastics, where it can absorb some of that stuff. Bird droppings, insects, stuff like that, and here in this case mud for a long time, it'll stain it. I'm going to go through another more thorough wash now that I have some light and see if I can get rid of some of that stuff. As you can see, I missed a lot of stuff because it's so dark. Look how bad this is. And it revealed a little bit of road rash as well. A little bit or a lot, depending on how you quantify the severity of a car scratch. But again, left a lot of dirt in places, all the crevices. Couldn't tell at night. But I'm just going to go through one more quick wash and then we'll take it from there with the last step. And focus on the really dirty plastic bits now. Just kind of give it a really good rub down, see if we can get rid of some of those stains. Okay, drying your car with a leaf blower is way less obnoxious when there's still light out, but still pretty obnoxious. Whoever's bright idea was to use a leaf blower to dry your car, well, I don't know if it's actually practical or not. It'll take forever. I think you'd go deaf by the end too. I know I should be wearing some kind of earplugs or something, but I think I've learned something cleaning the Bronco that I'll share with you at the end. I'm going to use a different cloth to dry off these really dirty parts. I just don't want to get my main drying cloth gritty. You know, I guess when you're washing a car that's really dirty, like this Bronco was, you really can't get everything off during the soap phase because I guess you can't see where to rub. Like there's some stuff that you need to rub. So I know drying shouldn't be a time where you're kind of wiping off the dirt, but man, there's so much left over and I don't want to wash it again. I'm assuming it won't matter as much with a clean car or a car that maybe didn't have a week's worth of mud caked on it. Remember, it's always good to read the instructions and follow the manufacturer's recommended application process. This, we're supposed to do one panel at a time, and it does not magically remove all these scratches that I have, unfortunately. Looks like they get less though, less pronounced. So I mean, with even all that care, there's still dirt on the car. Sound angry. And you can see here that that extra rubbing helped get rid of those spots. And once I put the protectant on, it should be even that much better. I'm relatively new to this game. I kind of usually go to the car wash at the gas station if I wash my car at all. So I'm just wondering to myself, as I spend a significant amount of time cleaning this winch, do people clean their winches? How about the rock sliders? Their hitches? How about inside the hitch? Everything looks good when it's nice and slick. The turtle wax graphene coating has some water repelling properties. and it'll help protect the car for a couple of months. But still, right when you wipe everything down, that's when it looks the best. Some things you wipe down, it looks good, but as soon as it dries up, it's all the scratches and marks come to the surface. So I think I'm done. Not done cleaning the car, but just done cleaning, period. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's way cleaner than it was before. It does lessen some of the scratches. You can see them less. And one thing for sure, the next time it gets dirty, it'll be much easier to clean because it has this coating on it now. I was contemplating putting the polish, that plastic polish, all over the roof, but I'm too lazy. I can't do it. And I was going to show you cleaning the interior, but man, it is filthy in here, so that might have to be a different video. Also, I decided not to clean the wheels, like put polish on them. It's not a show car. I don't need them polished. And I really contemplate whether I want to wash the truck anyway. It's a lot of work and it looks pretty good dirty, but I don't know, we'll see. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, have a great weekend, everyone.